Hey friend, welcome. I'm Jen. I'm a part-time online clothing reseller, which means I go to thrift stores, sometimes yard sales. I find used clothes and I sell them online, usually on eBay and Poshmark, hopefully for a profit. Today is Monday, January 15th, and I am not shipping out any items today because it is Martin Luther King Jr. Day and the post office is closed. I did want to take a minute and chat with you about my goals for 2024. I'm a little bit behind on that, but that's okay. As a little bit of a background, I don't like goals. For a really long time, I was really like type A, very kind of a go-getter kind of person. And I would set a goal and something would happen and I would fail at that goal and I would feel shame and guilt and like a failure. And I would sit in that for a really long time. And then I would, go, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go after it. And I would set another goal. And it would be this cycle constantly for most of my young adult life, teenage, college, young adult life. About 12 years ago, I sat with a mentor of sorts, and it was early in January, and I had my list of goals for the year, and I swear there were 30 to 40 goals. It was ridiculous. And she kind of looked at me and said, why? And that was like mind-blowing to me. I completely changed my approach. Not immediately. It took a while. But now I approach things a little bit differently. Atomic Habits was really life-changing for me. Also kind of added to that journey of changing how I approach goals. If you've not read that book, I recommend it, maybe, if you want. So here's like an example. If you think about weight loss. So if I would say, I want to lose 20 pounds. I really like to look behind what's the motivation of that goal? Well, it's not, maybe I just want to lose 20 pounds, but for me, I want to feel strong and healthy. Well, how do I go about feeling strong and healthy? Well, maybe two things are that I could exercise more and I could drink more water. So instead of saying, okay, well, I'm going to lose 20 pounds, that's my goal, I like to set up habits. I'm going to go for a walk every day after lunch. I'm going to fill up my giant water bottle 3 times a day so that I drink more water. Hopefully, that's just a weight loss example, but hopefully that will be a little bit reflected and you'll understand a little bit more of like, I'm not going to say I'm going to do this, and this for my eBay. Hopefully that will be reflected here. So I have 5 goals-ish. I'm just calling them goals for ease of. The first is to get off my phone. I do a lot on my phone. I check eBay a million times a day, which isn't great for my mental health, really. I list on my phone. I take pictures on my phone. That's not going to change. But, we're good. I really want to get off my phone. I'm going to do that in hopefully 3 ways at least. I'm changing the way that I'm listing. So I have been listing for the last 2 years and 3 months through the eBay app. And I have been doing that usually at night, at bedtime, when I'm laying with my kiddos, and I'm just on my phone and I'm listing. Well, I'm stopping that and I am switching over to Vendoo. I'm not endorsing Vendoo yet. I actually don't love it, but it's working. It's doing okay. So I will be doing all my listings through Vendoo on my computer. I've already launched my 5 listings for today this morning. I got up, got on the computer, did my listings. They're up, they're ready to go. I am going to, when I was doing For a long time with Poshmark, I was doing the manual sharing. It was after they switched to the bulk sharing. I didn't ever do it one by one, but about 2 months ago, I did get a bot. I got, I think it's Prime Lister. It's one that does it from the cloud so that my computer doesn't have to be open all the time, because multiple people in my family use my computer at different times. So I'm using a bot for Poshmark. And then I'm going to change when I'm listing. I've already said this. I'm not going to list at night, bedtime. It was working, but it felt like, especially since I did my shipping first thing in the morning, it felt like I was on my phone working late at night and then first thing in the morning. And then I would do things, during the day. And so it really was feeling like I was working all day long. And this is part-time for me. So I really want it to feel like it's part-time. I want the bulk of my job I see as, in my home with my children. I homeschool my kids. So that is my full-time job. This is kind of my part-time job. So I'm changing when I'm listing. So my first goal, get off my phone. The second goal is to organize and purge. Oh my goodness. A few weeks ago, I did a video of a very realistic look at my workspace, my reselling space. I'm actually organizing and purging my whole house. I've spent the last week and a half-ish working on that. I still have a few spaces to do. My little kid's room is a constant battle. I have this junk drawer in my bedroom that I need to go through, and then also my desk in my house. I just don't want to do that one. But other than that, and I have this space out here in my garage, but it's been really cold, and so I'll get to it. But not just my house. That makes me function better as a human, let alone as a mom, as a wife, as a reseller. When my house is purged and organized, I just function better with my reselling space. So I'm doing my inventory, and I've actually worked on it a little bit. I've gone through, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think 7 bins so far. And I am taking out kind of the low-hanging fruit. So I don't really have a specific guideline for that, but I am looking at sell-through rate. I'm looking at average sale price. I am looking at how long I've had the item. So basically, I guess if I have to say, I'm taking out most of the things that I've had for more than a year. Some of the things that have a higher average sale price, that have a higher sell-through rate, I'm keeping in. But changing things, maybe if they have a high sell-through rate, I price them too high, and so I need to lower that price. Reselling is a science, but it's also an art. It's not really one or the other. There's definitely formulas and math, all those things. But some of it's kind of guesswork, and I don't know. Some things I will probably relist. I haven't done that yet, but I might just pull them out, redo the photographs. Photos is something I'm really not that great at, honestly. But I'll probably relist some items. And as I'm going through, even those things that I'm keeping, I'm, checking the price, changing things as needed. Do I need a better description? Do I need better photos? I'm getting off my phone, I'm organizing and purging. And the third thing is I'm redoing my inventory. Right now I am in a bin system. So I have a spreadsheet. Right now I'm working off of a spreadsheet and Vendu, and oh my word, it's so much work because I'm basically double doing everything. So I'm really excited to get through this. That's giving me motivation to get it done quickly. Because it's taking forever, but I am switching over to a SKU system, and let's see, bought a bunch of boxes and bags, and I have SKU numbers right there, and already I'm really loving this. I'm only a little over 150, about 150 items out of, I started with 1350. So it's going to take a while. I estimate it's going to take about 60 hours and about $300. So I mean, that is, a tax write-off, supplies and things, but like I need bags, I need boxes, I need the SKU numbers and time. Yeah. So I'm getting off my phone, I'm organizing, purging, I'm redoing my inventory to a SKU system. And I want to take less time. That's my fourth goal. Like I said earlier, my full-time job is my home, my kids, homeschooling. This is a part-time job. Right now, I'm spending about 25 hours a week, which I think is not bad. But I really want to spend less time. So I think changing the way I list, I know actually already that once I get everything switched over to this new system, I think that it is going to take me less time. One thing that takes me a long time is my shipping process. And it's because I get interrupted a lot. When I do my shipping first thing in the morning, my kids get up and they want to snuggle. And so, I might be printing off labels and then I got to go and spend 10 minutes snuggling with a little kid, which I love that time. I don't know that I'm willing. Excuse me. I'm sorry, I've been sick for about 3 weeks. I don't know that I'm willing to give up that time with them. But then, then 10 minutes later, they want some cereal. They want breakfast. They get into a tussle, an argument, and I have to go break that up. If some of my shipping videos go swimmingly and no one interrupts, but usually I get interrupted. My teenagers wake up and need to get started with their schoolwork. And so that, one of the things I'm thinking about doing and playing with is just getting up earlier so that I can get my shipping done before my kids get up. And then I also, will make use of my husband. My husband's always still home when I'm doing my shipping. So he can be the one who's getting breakfast around, who's snuggling with the littles. Although I don't want to miss that part. Anyway, it's hard. The other thing that I am planning to do to spend less time is to hire a photographer. We live very close to a university. I have some contacts with some people in the university. I'm looking for a college student who, one, I can kind of invest in and be, have that person be a part of our lives. I think that's an important thing for me. I'm mentoring and, that's kind of an important part of my life. But also, I will pay the person to take photos for me. Because I'm switching to Vendu, I think that it will be a pretty, I don't know, I'm hoping. Anyway, that's something I've tried to hire my teenagers to do it, and they just don't want to. So I'm not going to force them. They both have a lot going on. They're both have very full school schedules. And they both have extracurriculars. They both have babysitting jobs that they do regularly. So if they're not interested, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, so hopefully hiring a photographer will take a little more off my plate. All right, the last item is I do want to make more money. Right now, we have some financial goals that my husband and I are working toward. We have a dream that we want to fund. And so while I want to use less time, I really do want to make more money. So I haven't really delved too much into this because I don't have a number attached yet. I don't have a listing number attached yet. And those are things that I will do. But I also am a firm believer that a goal doesn't have to start January 1st or on the first of the month or on a Monday. So I'm taking some time to kind of develop what this might look like for me, for our family. But some things that will probably happen within that is I will list more. All through December and right now, as I'm doing all this purging and switching over my inventory, I'm only listing 5 items a day. That's not many. I probably over the year of 2023 averaged about 10 items a day because there were times when I was listing 15 or 20 and times when I was listing 5, but probably 10 over the course of the year. And especially with the help of a photographer, I should be able to list more. I do want to list better. I want to make sure the sell-through rates are higher. The average sale prices are higher. This might involve different sourcing, and this is hard for me because part of the reason that I sell things like a ton of, Quacker Factory and vintage sweaters is because that's what I have access to here in my town. I do have about 5 thrift stores within 10, 15, 20 minutes of me. But I don't live in a very affluent area. Kohl's is like the highest quality store that we have in our town. So there's, that limits what you find. Am I going to find a Lululemon in my town? Maybe. I have, but not frequently. Because there's not a Lululemon store here, so people aren't buying it as frequently. Does that make sense? However, if I go to the bigger cities, that takes longer to get there. A big city is closest one to me is about an hour away. That takes time away from my kids, and I don't know, it's just a trade-off that I need to kind of figure out. So yeah, just looking at my little scratchy notes there. So I know that wasn't very clear. That wasn't like I'm going to list this many and I'm going to make this much money. But that's just how I've kind of gone about my goals for this coming year. Yeah, so let me know in the comments. Do you make goals? What are your goals? Do you have better goals than me? A little more clear, a little more outlined. I would love to hear, I would love to chat about that. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure you give me a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. I do usually upload Ship With Me videos every night at 8 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Saturday when I ship. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. I would really appreciate it. All right, thank you so much for hanging out with me, hearing my goals, and chatting with me in the comments about yours. I appreciate you. I'll see you soon.